Julian.
You're positively disgusting.
Oh.
You can't talk to me like that.
So in today's episode, we're going to discuss the reality of body positivity, the influence of Hollywood and social media, and why people, particularly women, still feel pressure to be thin.
You know what I want to discuss? Why you guys agreed on a shirt and made me wear this bullshit.
No one made you do anything.
Okay, you didn't make me. It was a choice, but you guys should have told me. I'm wearing my coach shirt.
We didn't plan it.
You guys
We
suck.
just were on the same,
yeah.
same
Wavelength? Professionalism?
Yes.
Me too.
You do look more professional.
Thank
A
you.
little bit.
I
You
took off
guys
my
should-
decide.
suit.
Comment below.
Yeah, I
Who
took
looks
off my
more
shoulder pads.
professional, us or Vic?
I'm wearing a tuxedo. What are you guys wearing? Kimono?
So the first thing I want to do is start discussing what the body positivity movement actually was. I don't think, we speak about it like if everybody knows what it is, but there may be listeners out there that aren't in that world. So
Yeah.
What is it? What do you guys think it is? Like, what do you think it started as versus what it became?
I think it started with good intentions, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. Like it started as a way for people like, hey, we shouldn't criticize somebody because of how they look, or because of their shape or their
They live in
size.
bigger bodies,
Yeah, and it's just spiraled down to like all these things do into.
glorifying maybe unhealthy habits.
Yeah,
I would say
yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah, and it went down a path that at first it was like, hey, look, everybody, don't criticize, don't make fun of people, and then now it's like, it's not okay to be unhealthy, and that's something that I don't agree with.
What kind of influencers like post about this kind of stuff? Like, what were their characteristics?
Californians.
Just
Can't say that,
period.
can I?
Probably-
Just
you're
Californians,
probably
period. Not
Probably a
wrong.
high percentage of them.
I'm thinking
Not
specifically
wrong.
of a few and they're all California based, so I'm not saying.
Or Washington State.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm curious with her as a woman and as a Gen Z woman, who are these people? Like when you think body positivity, who pops up?
Everybody on three, ready? 1, 2, 3, Lizzo.
Come on, Emma.
God
Jesus
damn it.
Christ.
Try it again.
She's off the chemistry. She's off the chemistry,
You're
says.
fired.
Sorry. She's not a staple, okay? She's just this week.
Good, that's good. You leave that.
Yeah, so to me, body positivity is just being confident in your own body, not being, ashamed, but also taking care of yourself in a way that you feel healthy, your healthiest self.
I like that you said feeling confident. Is that what you said? Feeling
Yeah.
confident in your own body? Because I feel like that's how it started and that's how it should be viewed as, hey, this is how I look and I'm okay with that. Even if you're working on improving yourself, you don't have to shit on yourself. You don't have to make yourself feel bad just because you're not where you want to be yet. And like you said, that like feeling comfortable in your own skin, not glorifying obesity or heart disease or these things that we know come with obesity, but just feeling comfortable and confident that, hey, I'm okay with where I'm at. You might be working on yourself, maybe you're not, but you're okay with where you're at.
Yeah, it comes with like self-love, right?
Yeah.
And I think if we're talking about body positivity, you have to talk about why it originated. And the reason why it originated is because for many years there was like a very toxic view on body image, right? Like this is where like an ideal woman or guy, this is what you should look like.
And you said specifically women,
yeah,
let's be honest.
yeah, for
Specifically
this,
women,
and I
it's
want to
not
get
really-
into the difference between men and women for sure, because that's going to be interesting. But there are standards, whether it's for men or women, and all you have to do is put on Netflix and see the people that are there. It's
They're
usually
beautiful.
very ribbed, very skinny for women. So I think it came out of that where a lot of people were saying, looking around and saying, especially in America, nobody looks like that. There's only like 5% of the population. Everybody else has to be okay with the fact that they're not super thin, they're not super ripped. So I think this, like you said, it came from something that had good intentions. Like, hey, we should love ourselves a little more. Hey, maybe you are overweight, but you're working on yourself, you're making progress. And maybe, let's face it, you're never going to be super thin. You don't have the genetics for that. But you have to be kind of okay with that, which I think is good.
That's fine. Yeah, agreed. That's completely fine because, like you said, you don't have the genetics. There's nothing you can do about your genetic makeup. So what are you gonna do? Like, be uncomfortable in your skin for the rest of your life? Like, it's not.
You can't.
So, and as people that might be genetically have that the genetics to be thin or in good shape more naturally, shouldn't look down on somebody that has no control over that type of thing. Like,
But that's where the pushback will come from fit people. They'll be like, well, you do have control.
It's like
Yeah.
you don't.
Wake up at 4 a.m.
You really don't.
you also do to
like-
an extent. Like, you can't tell me that your friend that eats just like you and does your same workout regimen is going to be exactly like you. It's just not. It's not realistic.
Everyone's different. If you have the same body type as someone, it's very rare.
Very.
Extremely rare.
Like, I have like Michael Phelps' physique, but like we can't.
Michael Phelps' little cousin. Michelle. He swims in the pools in the Hialeah.
I swam here from Cuba, so say what you will.
Okay, here we go.
This is an interesting question. Was it really ever about health, or was it about rejecting like the beauty standards, right? Because some movements come out of like a genuine desire, but then others, or maybe some people as part of that movement, it's just like a rejection. Like, well, who the hell said that women have to be skinny, or who says that I have to wear makeup? You know, it's like a
rebellion.
Rebellion, that's the word. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Emma?
I would think it came from more of like the rejection, like why are you telling me what to do kind of thing. Like I don't have to listen to you. I can do whatever I want. I can wear what I want. I can kind of, back to social media, like I can post what I want.
It's my body.
It's my body.
I do what I want.
Exactly, yeah. Like, you know.
It's my body. I do what I want.
Interesting.
I think so.
I think that's like a bigger percentage of it. And let's be honest, all of these fit bodies or skinny people that we saw in the 2000s, 90s were not particularly healthy.
No.
And they all say it, like especially the movie stars, like, hey, I was shredded, I was under 5% body fat, I wasn't healthy, I was dehydrated, I wasn't feeling good. So it's not, we weren't pushing health, we were pushing a look.
And you got down to like something very important, which is just because somebody isn't overweight or doesn't quote unquote look a certain way, that doesn't mean that they're healthy by any means. As a matter of fact, people do all kinds of very unhealthy things to look a certain way. And I think that's where that rejection of the beauty standards came from, where it's like, well, you mean to tell me I have to starve myself and take all these pills and these fat burners and work out like crazy and not sleep so that I can look a certain way? Like, screw you. I'm okay with having a little bit more fat on my body or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's too soon to discuss this, but we've definitely gone too far in the other direction that it's like, now you can't tell anybody anything. So it's like, hey, I'm worried about you. You look like Ariana Grande in Wicked.
Oh,
can I see?
There.
Can I not say that? Yeah, I feel like I should be able to say that because
you don't know what she's going through.
I don't, but I'm concerned for her. And if it was my friend, if it was Emma like that, she loses these cheeks, I would be concerned for her.
Emma doesn't have to worry because we're constantly telling her.
Harassing her, yeah.
Constantly.
But she looks like Emma constantly. But I don't think that's a bad thing to be able to like tell somebody, especially somebody you're close to, like, hey, I'm concerned for you, and not just in one direction. Like
if it's
my
good
friend Bands,
intentions.
if it has good intentions, like, hey, look, you're kind of letting yourself go in either direction, or you're not eating enough, you look malnourished. Like I think
there's a kind way to go about it.
Absolutely, and you don't have it.
No, but in my defense, I have worked on it.
True.
And I think that if you approach it in a way where you, like you said, you're doing it because I care about you. Again, it's not bullying, it's not shaming, it's not making you feel bad about it. It's just out of concern. Yeah. And like I said, there is a gentle way to go about it.
But it's a soft spot, and I think that's why people push back or people tend to avoid the conversation altogether.
I feel like friend to friend, it's hard to say it, honestly.
100%.
Like I personally, like,
100%. It depends on the nature of the relationship too, because if it's him, if it's Maynard, I mean, obviously he's my brother, but if it's Maynard, somebody like I could be like, yo, dude, you're freaking fat. You know, you could you could talk to him differently like that. Yeah. But if it's somebody like...
Matter of fact, no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was going to say the difference between men and women is big when it comes to
this. How you speak to each other?
How you speak to each other, the dynamics of a friend group. From my experience, and I don't want to be like mansplaining here, that's why I want you to give me your perspective, but women tend to be a lot more encouraging. Oh, yes. You know,
they post a picture,
great,
fire emoji.
Man, it's more like, dude, you're
nice muffin top.
Yeah, like look at that gut, dude. Like, you gonna do something about that or what?
Yeah.
You know, so we're very direct with each other, and especially if you're close, that's more of like an open door to like, hey, give it to me straight. That's just how we are with each other. I would actually argue that the closer you are, the more brutally honest you are. And guys don't really take things that personally, and it actually might inspire you or motivate you, even though sometimes your friends are so like, I really don't care what you tell me, that it doesn't even motivate them.
But we feed off each other's negative criticism all the time, and I know it comes from a good place. You're not telling me like, hey, wimp.
It's like, also
it's
funny.
Not to pick on me. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Like,
I find it hilarious. But if you call me a wimp or you tell me like, oh, you're getting skinny, like, I don't take it like, oh my God, he's offending me. Like, it's a personal attack.
You guys don't take it personally.
No,
I feel like for women, it's more personal. It's like if someone told me, whenever I don't do it now anymore, but when I used to, I don't want to say who says it, but someone in my family says it. And they're like, oh, you know, you're
Grandma.
you're getting a little like, you know, gordita, and it gets me, and then I go to the gym, you know. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't hit me that hard, but it doesn't anymore.
Now, do you think that's because women place more self-value in their looks than men do? or
I would
society has
say-
placed more pressure
I was
on you?
gonna say it comes from outside. Like
Yeah.
it's not because we want to. It's just because like opinions of other people.
Societal
and we
norms.
feel like when I go out and I wear a tank top, like I feel like my arms should be skinny. You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean?
you don't
I
want to
feel
have
like
these
I
little
should look
rolls
thin.
coming out of here.
Yeah, and like you shouldn't. But
Which
that's
really,
not on, that's
and
not
also
us.
I tell my clients all the time, like they're like, oh my God, but look at this tiny little like armpit. I tell them, nobody's looking at that.
No
And you know who is
one
looking at that? Other women. And that's the sad reality of our generation. Like guys are always like, I don't mind the little cellulite. I don't mind that you have this. And women are like, oh shit, look at that cellulite. How's she gonna wear those shorts with that cellulite? It's like,
That comes from like negative self-talk too. I feel like us just talking, not like women just being, you know, like, oh, I have this cellulite, I have to get rid of it, or I have this arm fat, I have to get rid of it. But again, I think that I think it comes from society and like
think,
the pressures
yeah.
that have been placed on us.
yep.
I think that's a really interesting thing to discuss, and I actually think it's both. I think it's some of it is society, and some of it is because you can have your like a really good support system that tells you look great, you're this and that, you don't need, and you're so harsh with yourself that a lot of it can come from past trauma,
Yep.
you know, some sort of thing that you dealt with, or maybe just like a super ambitious person that like never is satisfied. So even if you got to like your goal weight or body fat, it's like I just want to keep going because that's just in your nature. So I think it's a little bit of both.
That's something that we talk about here all the time is that body dysmorphia. And we say it all the time. Usually the fittest people are the harshest on themselves. So you see somebody that's like super fit, it's like, oh, but I'm not where I want to be. You can never compliment them. They're like, thanks, man. No, I know. I look great. It's always like, oh, I'm not quite where I want to be. You know, I have this little thing here. Oh, I have to have this little gut. And it's like, we're never, it's never enough.
Which begs the question. That's why I agree with some of the body positivity thing. It's like, can you be a little bit satisfied? Can you love your body a little
Yeah.
bit? Because if a lot of these people that you see that are super fit, you think that they're super confident.
And they have it all together, yeah.
No, on the contrary, they're the type that like, oh, I saw that I gained 2 pounds on the
Yep.
scale. Now I'm gonna starve myself all weekend.
Might not even take your shirt off at the beach. You have definition. I'm not going to take my shirt off the beach. Oh, because I have a little bit of a thing down here. It's like, dude, you're in the 5% of how you
Yeah.
look. So we're hypercritical of ourselves.
Now, what do you guys think about these, I don't want to call it hypocrisy, but like contradictions of celebrities and stuff that used to push body positivity? Like maybe someone like Lizzo or someone like Adele. I don't know how much she was into body positivity, but she was like a role model for a lot of like
I just
bigger
think
people.
I don't think Adele gave a shit about anything. That's just her
But
personality,
anyway, I mean, like they were the face of
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
movements,
yeah.
and now they've lost weight. They're on this fitness journey, on this health journey. Do you guys see that as a contradiction, or do you see it as, you know, yeah, I'm still down with all that, but I also want to be healthier, as as most people do, especially as you start to get older. Like, how do you guys feel about that?
I think I would say with Lizzo, because I didn't follow up a lot with it, but enough to see that she was comfortable and confident in her past body, and then she did realize, okay, I'm not healthy, let me make a change, and she kind of went the other way. So I don't think it would be a contradiction.
Okay, and you know
se.
what really upsets me is like the backlash
Yeah.
that she got
Yeah.
when she
Yeah.
decided to start getting healthier.
yeah, that's
Yeah, I don't think she deserved that backlash, honestly. That was
absolutely.
that was her choice.
Yeah, that's the part I don't like is, yeah, sure, I can be, body positive and I can be, let's say like I was the skinny guy and I'm okay with that. I'm pushing that it's okay to like yourself like that. Just because I want to make a change and the change is improving my health, I feel like these people that I was supporting should support me now, not the other way. Like, hey, you abandoned us. No, like I'm just taking care of myself and I'm trying to be a better example for what everyone should be doing.
I think the cynic in me sees it as like misery loves company. So if you are unwilling to make a change, but then you see somebody that's doing it, it's almost an attack on your own ego and your inability to do it. So that's why they tell people that, either are drug addicts or they even somebody that wants to go on this health journey. If you keep hanging out with your friends that all they want to do is party and stay up late and drink and eat crappy food, they're going to want to keep pulling you back to that because maybe they're not ready to make that change.
Yeah.
So they see you as like this person doing something that I'm not willing to do, like, screw you.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, who do you think you are? You're too good for us now, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point of view because I feel like that happens a lot, like with friend groups and stuff like that. And that's how people lose friends and
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
women especially. I think 100% more than men.
I'm glad I wore this. It's pretty cold.
Yeah, it is.
Literally, my hands are like Julian's right now.
Jeez, and
I
the
got-
door's closed.
I got Julian hands.
You guys are jokes.
So now, with the rise of Ozempic and all these really thin celebrities, it begs the question: were people, and particularly, I'm gonna keep saying women, just because I know that's gonna piss some people off, but like I said, men are different. But were women just kind of looking for an excuse for being thin to be socially acceptable again, or did they really, or are there women that actually really embrace this body positivity thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, now that it's cool again, all right, now we can drop this facade of the body positivity thing. Like, I want to be thin. Let's face it.
That's a tough one because I don't think they have to be one and the same. I think you could be body positive and be okay with when you were overweight and want to make a change. You know what I mean? I don't think they have to individually exist.
But I think like when you look at somebody that's like really thin, it's almost like, and of course it's somebody that you're seeing on the big screen or whatever.
On the pictures.
Is it someone that you're like, oh, like, look at her, she looks so good. I wish I was, because I know I train a lot of female clients and I can tell you that a lot of them do think like that. Like, skinnier is better, thinner is better. I need to be skinnier. Even if I tell them you are at like a really low body fat percentage already.
No,
it doesn't matter what I say.
We don't use the word skinny in here. We say it all the time. We try to like bastardize that and use the word lean because skinny is not particularly, where anyone should. And I'm not saying it's bad. Don't freaking attack me. I've been a skinny person my whole life. It's not where you should want to be. Like, we're aiming for body fat loss. You could be skinny and have subcutaneous body fat. Like, you can be skinny and have a little belly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but let's get back to this topic, which is like, is it still something where like deep down inside most women were like, yeah, I'm gonna go along with this body positivity thing, but like at the end of the day, that's why I want to get your perspective on it.
I'm like, oh, it's my turn.
Okay, let me give you a scenario. You have you're a group of friends and like one of those friends is like overweight, like visibly overweight, but she's like super confident and doing this whole body positivity thing. Do most of the other girls in the group, even when you egg her on, are you secretly saying, but come on, you could say all you want about you're comfortable in the big body, but like we all know we all want to be skinny? Or is it, I know this is a topic.
It's a tough question because it's a tough question because having friends of, how do I say
different shapes and sizes.
Just, I have a decent amount of friends and I don't categorize them, I'm not like, oh, you're skinny, you're not. Like, I don't do that.
Today.
Yeah, I don't do that, but I think wow. Oh, okay, that was a lot. Yeah, a little bit.
I'm gonna give you an example just to like, because I know this is obviously like a hot topic, you don't want to offend anyone, but I'm gonna be honest because that's who I am. You can tell me all you want as a guy, oh, I'm happy with my flabby non-workout self, but I'll be like, all right, dude, like, I respect your opinion, but secretly I might even encourage you, and if you're actually happy, but to me the standard is like a man should be strong, a man should have muscle, a man should work out. That's how I think. So do women think a woman ideally should be thin?
Should be XYZ.
I want to say yes, but then I also want to say no because I follow a lot of like influencers and people on social media that are going more toward the women should be strong. That women shouldn't be skinny because if you're skinny, like we've talked about before, you're not necessarily healthy. And you know what I mean?
You can be, but you're not necessarily.
You're not necessarily. It's not. I want to say like you're gonna be skinny, but it's not sustainable. Like you can't.
Especially if it's not in your nature.
Exactly.
If you're not like genetic, because some people are just thin by nature, and they don't.
It's not just something you can look at and be like, that person's healthy. And let's be honest, some people look good with a little extra weight. Some people look good a little thinner. Like there's no. So like he was saying earlier, the example, like if your overweight friend is showing you an outfit, she might look good in that outfit. Like some people pull it off, and it's true, and they do, and you could be like, damn, she looks good. Like she has the proper curves for it. She has like this and that. Like there's no way to definitively say people should be blank.
Good
people
is also
should be
very
skinny.
subjective.
Yeah.
It's like you saying you like the interior decor of my house. Like you may or you may not.
It's like, no, it's actually really ugly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chair for every ass.
But what I was going to say to you, which is...
Is that a bad thing?
No, it's
no,
good.
no.
She looks at me like...
I'm sorry. It was just because this stuff that you say...
I do want to riff off something that you said because I think this is really interesting. I think that actually if you're thin naturally, that could actually be a bad thing because a lot of people tend to think if you're thin, I don't need to work out. So it's like you said, like we're not aiming for thin, we're aiming for strong, right? Which we're gonna get into in depth because I love that about this day and age. Is I think that's where culture is headed, right?
Hopefully.
Not so much like body positivity, but like let's all be strong. We can all get strong. But anyway, my point being that you don't know how many women have told me, why does that girl work out so much? She's thin.
Oh my God.
I hate that. I get that.
So it's like...
I shouldn't get that, but I get that all the time, and I'm just like, okay,
Like, what do you think? I'm okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Like, oh,
Let me wipe my hands off it. Like,
Well, it's like we talk about in this podcast all the time. Those are people that look at exercise as a means to an end. When I get skinny, I'm gonna stop all this crap. I'm only doing this so I can get skinny.
When my cruise comes, after the cruise, I'm done. I'm gonna couch
or after my wedding, I'm done.
Well, we know a lot of those.
And that's the thing that we always try to preach in this podcast and at Be Fit in general, which is this isn't just a means to an end. This is something that you do because it makes you feel good. It's good for your mental health. There's so many health benefits that have nothing to do with how you look. So stop focusing so much on aesthetics and being thin or whatever the number it is on the scale, and think about the exercise as a much broader, bigger thing that's just part of your lifestyle.
And I think
100%.
in relation to that, we encourage all this exercising and healthy habits because of how you feel. And I think that ties back with your body image. If you feel good, and I'm not saying like, oh, I'm 400 pounds, I feel good. Genuinely, like at the bottom of your heart, do you feel good?
Those knees don't feel good.
Yeah, do your knees hurt? Can you walk up and down stairs without getting out of breath? Like, all of these are evaluators of, do I feel good? It's not, I don't think body positivity should be, hey, I'm morbidly obese, put me on the front of Men's Health. Like, it should be, I weigh 400 pounds and I am a football player. I run, I can catch my kids, I can run up, I can do all these things. I think body positivity should be more about how you feel rather than how we look.
Yeah, and I think that goes more of being like functionally fit. So, like here at Be Fit, we give like unconditional
love. We give unconditional love.
We do.
We give unconditional love.
We love you no matter how weird you are. It's true.
That's why I'm sitting here. That's why I'm still working here.
Unconditional love and unconventional.
Unconventional like exercises sometimes, different exercises just to have your body move a different way, just so you know you can
get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have to be
thrive in the
comfortable
discomfort.
with being uncomfortable.
And it's not all about like if I show you that unconventional exercise, it's not like what muscle is this working? Like is this gonna help me grow my glutes? Like no, it's not about that.
It's just
not
about
for this.
It's a low bear crawl and shit on all you want, Mike is
Oh my gosh.
All right, so check out some of these statistics that I found doing research for this. Kind of crazy. So approximately 91% of women are unhappy with their bodies and resort to dieting to achieve their ideal body shape.
91?
Hold on a second. Wait, this is crazier. Only 5% of women naturally possess the body type often portrayed by Americans in the media. 5%.
5% portray it?
Yeah, like 5% look like that.
That is not as shocking to me as the 91 that are unhappy. That's so sad.
That's not shocking to me at all. I mean,
and like
it's
we're
our
on
whole
different,
business.
like on different wavelengths. But 91 just seems so high. I would think like, if I had to guess, 75, 80, 91 is...
I think a lot of women
9 out
also
of
would
10?
never say like they don't want to be arrogant. Hey,
I'm exactly where I want to be.
I'm good. Like I love the way I look.
I'm good.
I think they should though. I think you should like, again, back to the confidence and being comfortable. Like whether you have abs or not, you should love the way that you look. I think, yeah.
So that's something that I've gone down, that I've kind of like matured in, I think, is, at first like, people are very critical, like somebody's overweight or wearing something and their rolls are coming out like, oh, who do you think you are wearing that? Nowadays, I'm more like, good for you, girl. Wear whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
Like that would be body positivity. It's like but I don't want to call it body positivity. I just want to say like positive. Just positive talk, like you're being
that's
positive.
What body positivity should be. So it's not like you're wrong, you're right. It should be body positivity, just not the body positivity movement. Yes. And I think to bridge this gap, what I would say is that with everything in life, you can go too far. And I think what happened here is we went too far. You need to be able to draw a line. Hey, body positivity, I feel great, I love this and that. But if your doctor tells you have 4 health markers that if you don't get it in line, like you will either have an early death or have some sort of like serious disease, you can't just be naive to that and be like, I don't care, I love this and I love eating all that and it doesn't matter to me. So I think there's a line there, and that's where this whole discussion can get a little convoluted because there's definitely a line there. So what is that line? That's this one's interesting. A study found that viewing body positive content on social media, like Instagram, led to overall positive shifts in women's body image. So that's interesting, right? Conversely, research indicates that social media can negatively influence body image through negative appearance comparison, exacerbating concerns and dissatisfaction. So I guess they've done studies and it's like both.
So like...
It depends how you look at it.
And it also depends on your feed too.
Yes, 100%. I have 2 accounts, so I have like my normal account and then another one.
Whoa!
Get them fit.
Get them fit.
A fit
follow.
one. God, be specific.
I know. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
Maybe it sounded like it was a freaking OnlyFans.
But essentially, so I'm no.
God forbid.
Jesus Christ.
Not that there's.
Oh!
Okay, we're just gonna all walk away. Come back.
This will be my last
Okay.
podcast.
Next week, catch me and Emma on the.
Julian quit.
No, you got canned.
Got canceled.
So I have 2 accounts. So essentially I see 2 different feeds. So I see my fitness account. I see a lot of what we would call body positivity, a lot of like embracing your body while being healthy. But then on the other side, I see people only posting pictures that they look really good in. So they won't post it if they look bad for the most part. I'm speaking about the majority. You know,
I also
not
think
all of
that
them.
that shows up on your feed because it's in line with like how you believe, right?
Yeah.
Like you are that type of person. But if you could
Yeah.
easily be like one of these like toxic, like the more ripped the better, like I would never post something of me that I don't look perfect in. So there is that side of Instagram
100%,
that you're
yes,
not just
100%.
in.
And I'm guilty of having both on my feed sometimes, unfortunately. And when I get those like huge guys with the giant delts, and I'm like, God, I'm a wimp. There's no way you could come out of that feeling good. Like, and
You
and
see,
unfortunately,
it
most
happens
of
to guys too. It's
most
not just
of-
women
absolutely
like that.
happens to
Yeah, you look at
guys.
it and you're just like,
most of Instagram is that side, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good that there is now with the body positivity people that try to pose like unflattering angles and like, oh, don't believe social media. Look at my real stomach versus my pose. But most of it is a very genetically gifted person taking really good pictures of themselves.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that does
And
anything
that's
good
what-
for your psyche.
Yeah, that's what does well on those platforms. Is the male version of body positivity like dad bods being okay or being cool?
Oh no, now dad bods is a whole nother monster because they're calling dad bods something that's like a guy that works out. And it's like dad bod. It's like,
is
no,
not
man,
a
it's not a
dad
dad
bod.
bod.
like
Yeah, yeah.
no,
A
the
dad
guy's,
bod
that
is
guy's ripped.
a dad bod is the
Now we're
freaking-
talking about Emma's dad. Now there's a punk. That is not a dad.
I gotta
much
bring
time
my,
do you
gotta bring
have?
my dad in here.
Superstar.
How much time do we have to talk about this?
You see,
I'm
but
getting
yeah.
flustered here.
Oh my gosh.
Ralph, if you're watching this, we're big fans.
Hey Ralph. Hey Dad.
I like your forms.
Oh Lord. He's my dad, but he works out every day. He watches what he eats. He's healthy, but he also doesn't
hot.
compare himself to others.
Well, he's
in
also
that sense.
that age is a different monster too. Like once
Yeah.
you're older, like past our generation, you're not on Instagram comparing yourself to these like celebrities or younger
Hopefully,
people.
but
No.
you'd be surprised how many of these dudes are like on high doses of testosterone
That's
and
true.
still like fighting people in traffic and doing things that like, dude, come on, you should be older
up.
and like going to
Grow
the gym
up.
and trying to keep up with these young guys.
Tearing
and,
a pec. Trying
Yeah,
to keep
like,
up.
come on, you should get to a certain age where you work out for health and for different reasons, ideally, of course.
Yeah.
Speaking of all of this and Hollywood and all that and men comparing themselves to, I saw a trailer for the new Reacher season. What the hell's
guy's-
going on there?
What, the guy's out of hand,
The guy's
right?
a mountain of a man.
Yeah,
Did you see
yeah.
that? Like the lady opens the door and it's him in like boxers. And
No,
it's
but I've seen him in...
What?
the biggest back you've ever seen. I'm like,
No, I'm telling you, my wife could attest that. I couldn't stop talking about it. But this guy's a body. Are you kidding me?
He's
going
a
to-
bodybuilder.
No, the guy doesn't have a home, right? And
That's the whole
supposed to
Reacher thing, yeah.
I'm supposed to believe that this guy maintains a bodybuilder physique, going from motel to motel, eating whatever, going on his little missions. I'm like, that's BS.
he's under 9% body fat
He's
and
a
he weighs over
liar.
250
That guy lives
pounds.
in the gym. There's
It's
no
true
way.
though. It's absolutely true.
Sits on a throne of lies.
It's true.
Okay,
Liars.
anywho. If body positivity, if women really did embrace it, why are so many of them just hopping on the Ozempic train? Why is it like now that this thing's available, even though maybe before I said I'm okay in my bigger body, now all of a sudden the same girl is like, you see her on Instagram, like, whoa, you lost like 40 pounds. Like, what happened there?
I think that, like I said earlier, it's okay to have been comfortable with where you were, but wanted to be somewhere else. I think that's fine, right?
100%. I think it's okay. And then I think too, there could be the person saying, you know, I want to be healthy. Like I see all these people on social media. I want to be like them. I want to be healthy.
But what if, just to push back, what if the way they're getting there isn't healthy? What if
That's a difference,
And I'm not saying
yeah.
Ozempic and Wegovy and that stuff isn't healthy. What I'm saying is, like, let's say they got there through starvation, using all these pharmaceuticals, not sleeping, maybe like burning themselves out. Is it still justifiable to say this is about my health, or can we like cut the BS here and be like,
Yeah.
I just want to be skinny and look good on Instagram?
Well, I don't think anybody that's doing that was part of the body positivity and was overweight. I mean, maybe they are. Anybody that did that and went that extreme route that you just mentioned, then they're just full of BS. I'm sorry. Like, there's no, you weren't
They
doing
were
it for your
never
health.
really-
They're just trying
You
to
were
fit
never,
in.
yeah.
They're trying to fit in with standards.
And
society,
unfortunately,
honestly.
it's not something that you can trick yourself into thinking. That person deep down knows, hey, I'm not happy with how I feel. I'm just putting this out there, this image of that I'm happy in my body because I don't want to be the one that's like, oh no, you know, I'm whatever. Nobody wants to be that person. So if they're doing those unhealthy habits to get there, then yeah, I think that they never really were comfortable.
That's a good distinction. If they did it in an unhealthy way, then it was never really about health.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then that wouldn't be body positivity at all. That would just be, like
makes
I said,
sense.
societal standards and
Yep.
I have to be skinny. Let me get to there.
Let me get to there.
Let me get to there a little quicker.
Now, we talked about the messaging shifting from you have to be skinny to being strong is the new cool, right? Being strong is the new skinny
Yes.
in a way. However, we work in a gym and we work with a lot of different people, and let's just stick to women here. How many of them are still like, we might say that a million times, but it's not, I don't think it's registering for a lot of women. I think they still deep down want to be skinny. And I know because we do their body fat percentage and I tell them, look how lean you are. You're in the 10th percentile.
But my
of-
scale hasn't gone down.
yeah, it's like the weight or, the thigh gap isn't gappy enough, whatever it might be, it's like they still have an ideal that they
these thunder
want to
thighs.
reach. So what's going on there? Is it...
Don't look at me. I'm not a woman.
Don't look at me.
I'm not a woman. I think if you were alive in like the 90s and 80s when people were like into that heroin chic style of being, I think you have that deep-rooted trauma within you that's what your mind perceives as beauty, is like the skinny with the big fake boobs. That was really popular in the 90s. You weren't alive. So that's like a deep-rooted trauma that no matter what somebody tells them or what new changes they may have been, you still have that image of beauty in your head of like Brad Pitt in Fight Club and like these people back when being skinny, quote unquote, was what was considered beautiful.
And by the way, they weren't even working out that much back then.
Oh,
It
just
was
doing a lot of cocaine and
starving.
cigarettes.
Yeah, it's like literally heroin.
Yeah.
So I've noticed a lot of our women clients that come in, they come to us mostly looking to lose weight. I rarely have a client that comes in saying, I want to be strong. So I think that's something that us as trainers, especially me, I try to instill it in my clients, thinking I'll listen to them when they come in, I'll listen to their concerns and their goals and what they want. But then as I'm training them, I'm saying little things like, oh, you're getting so much stronger, you're lifting so much more weight. And I try to pull them away from, I need to be skinny. And they'll leave here and they're like, oh my gosh, I chest pressed 30 pounds, and they're so excited. And for me, like, I want to see that more with women when they go like in and out of the gym. I feel like we should be trying to be strong.
I want to see more women flexing and like showing off their muscles and not
Yeah,
necessarily
like I have muscles,
like trying to fit into a size, whatever. You know what I mean?
Like, the
I wouldn't
skinny
even say
waist.
showing off the muscles. I would say more like
I mean, metaphorically.
What you said,
Yeah.
which is like, I can lift this. Like, I think that's empowering. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's more empowering than stepping on a scale and seeing the weight that you want is, hey, I just did a pull-up. Hey, I have never been able to do,
Exactly.
pistol squats, and I just did my first one.
I had a woman
that's very
in her
like,
50s
enticing.
yesterday. I had a lady in her 50s yesterday casually pick up a 50-pound kettlebell with one arm, and I was like, dude, that's impressive. Like, no matter how you slice it, you're a woman in her 50s, single arm without compensating, lifting a 50-pound weight off the floor. Like
That same woman is one of the hardest people on themselves, where
Yeah.
no matter how much you tell them that how
strong,
great you are and
yeah.
how strong, look how much you've accomplished, it's like, no, I'm not where I want to be.
I just wanna lose these
I'm not where I
arms.
want to be. I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
And that's why, let's be honest here, it's an uphill battle
Yeah.
dealing with people's psychology, because that story that you've told yourself for, 20, 30 years, however long you've been alive, is strong. You can't just change it and be like, no, hey, you're fine where you're at. Let's focus on getting strong. So you have to acknowledge that.
Yeah, and that comes down to personality. Sorry,
No,
that's
go ahead.
that just goes back what we talked about earlier, like personality. It's like if my personality is I always want more, that's what it's gonna be like.
And what part of your journey you're at. Like some
Exactly.
people are more ready to embrace that. Like, you know what? I have been too hard on myself. I've chased too much, this and that. Let me slow down, work on this self-love, self-compassion, give myself grace. So it depends on what part of your journey you're at.
Yeah, and akin to that is the people that have gone through a big transformation and might still be, by conventional sense, considered overweight, but they can look at their past self and reflect and be like, damn, look how far I've come, as opposed to, I'm still here, overweight, quote unquote. Having that perspective of look how far I've come is so powerful, because you don't have to be like, oh man, but I'm still blah, blah, blah. You're looking at how far you've come and how far you could continue to go. You know what I mean?
For sure. This gave me two great insights that I wanna talk about. One is we can't discount the body dysmorphia that goes on here, especially with people who work out. A lot of us struggle with body dysmorphia. Yeah, including myself in there.
They're women today.
Not me. I don't give a shit.
But it's the kind of thing where like the picture you see, whether it's an actual picture of yourself or when you see yourself in the mirror, is not like what other people see. Other people might see you as already fit and lean and someone even to aspire to be, but you might look at yourself and be like, ugh, that's terrible. Please don't post that picture of me.
I was talking shit earlier when I said I don't care. I'm always surprised to this day when somebody's like, dude, is that look at your arm or your shoulder? I'm always like,
this is a size small,
I'm
sir.
a wimp, sir. I have 13-inch arms, sir. Please temper your expectations. But no, you're 100% right on that.
Let's be honest, for us as trainers, it's worse because then
there's an expectation
your expectation
of you.
is way higher. Like somebody
gosh,
literally told us that once.
You guys are trainers?
What's his name? Euphrain. I'll never forget his name.
I want to say something about the body dysmorphia, and I think that, let me make my point here. I think that comes, I've seen a lot too, women trying to fit into smaller clothes.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's a really good point because no one sees the size on your clothes. Like, buy the one that fits you. Buy the one that you're comfortable in. I don't know if that's a good point, but I think
People become obsessed with metrics. They're like, I want to be a size 0, or I want to be my high school weight. That's what I
was gonna go next.
Yeah,
it's like I used to be a size 0, and I used to wear a size 3 when I was in freaking elementary school.
And I used
on
to
my
have
shoes.
SpongeBob underwear.
And I still have
SpongeBob
small
underwear.
feet, and I don't have small feet anymore.
You had small feet? I could have sworn you were born standing up.
When I was like 2 months old, it grew
You were born standing up, weren't you?
That was
whoa! Like those little clowns you can't knock down.
Oh god.
No.
I have a good segue to go into this.
You know the guy that invented the Segway died on a Segway?
That's awesome.
Fell off a mountain.
What a
on
legacy.
A Segway.
Why was he on a mountain on a Segway?
Because he invented Segway. He could have a mountain. I'm sure he lived somewhere with cliffs, and he Segway down.
That's not a funny joke.
That's not funny at all.
Funny joke.
Aquí lleva el atravesado.
Ay, ay, ay.
What are you talking about? The other thing that's like a little bit of a dark reality about our world, the fitness world, is that, and I've literally seen this, so I can say this from personal experience, is that yes, we can preach about, and Be Fit is all about, it doesn't matter what you look like. As long as you're striving and you're putting effort and you're trying to progress, we love that, we celebrate it. However, I have heard, because things get to me, nobody tells me directly, but they get to me.
I wonder why.
If we'll post a video of someone who isn't the ideal fitness, and it's like, oh, that's bad marketing for your business. Why are you posting people that are not fit? Because a lot of people, which I think is an idiot mentality, they look like they only want to train at gyms where, everybody looks fit and lean.
Everybody's in a sports bra,
yeah,
short
if
shorts.
everyone looks like that, then that's where I want to work out. And I think this is one of the most toxic things that you can think.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm trying to go somewhere and better myself, I want to be surrounded by people who are similar to me, not somebody that is already
unattainable.
Yeah, because then you come to the class and you're like, oh, but that person's doing weight with blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, smarty, you came to the gym that you wanted to, with everybody fit.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, come with somebody that, hey, I'm going to have a partner with me that's just starting their journey too, and we can relate, and we can kind of talk to each other hey, I'm struggling with food today, or hey, I didn't want to come to the gym today. Not the 22-year-old that's got it all together and is super fit.
It has always been.
Yeah, you struggle to come to the gym? Can't relate because,
get it together.
Yeah, I'm here all the
just
time,
do it.
and I'm having an acai bowl after this.
Yeah, it's not, I feel like it's not fair. It's not fair for those gyms that they just post the content that everyone's ripped, and then they come in and the workouts are super hard and they can't do anything and they don't help them modify anything. I think that's where we stand out as a gym is yes, the workouts are challenging, but we modify it. We make it work for you, and then
you're never gonna fit out. Is our whole thing. You're gonna be fit in. I don't care if you're.
That was good.
Yeah, I don't care what shape you're in or how you start. It's we're here to help you out. We're all here to help each other. It's not I'm gonna put up this person because they look great. You should celebrate the people that look great because they worked hard on it.
Exactly.
Or the people that are on their journey to looking great because they're working hard, not the person that came in already with big arms and they look good doing a bicep curl.
Also, isn't it more encouraging and inspirational to see someone who quote unquote doesn't look like a fitness model but is still crushing it and doing all these things? It'll be more 100%. Hey, they can do it. I'm not too far from that. I can try it as well, and I can do it.
Here's the hypocrisy too with what you're saying is everybody loves seeing the before and after journey. Everybody loves seeing the 400-pounder oh, the video
Preach,
that,
brother.
oh my God, now you're 150.
But no
You
one
love the
wants to
video.
see
Nobody
the
wants to see
in
the
between.
middle.
In between.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to see the middle part. Like, so what do you want me to
Yeah.
put? Just the before and after and completely skip the process? No,
Or
we're all
imagine-
about the process.
Imagine
Part
how
of the
messed up as a gym would be if we only take videos and pictures of the most lean-looking people.
Like, oh, we're recording you,
terrible. I
wouldn't-
skip over and
Wouldn't
go
be
like
able to
what?
stand us.
No,
Like that, we
that's-
would be
that's
obnoxious.
terrible.
And that's
We would be
that's a big
obnoxious.
problem I have with most Miami gyms, especially like downtown Brickell area. It's like, oh, like this is our beauty standards, and if you don't fit in, then like we're not gonna put you up. Like that's
Also,
that's so.
I'm not gonna call them out, but one of like goats in the industry who is a legitimately respectable person, but every time this person posts like the people that, and it's all women that work out at the gym, every single one of them is super lean
super
with a
lean.
big butt.
Yep.
And it's like, do you just reject everybody else? You say, no, you're
No, you have to interview before you go in and,
and
be like, you
I've
don't
never
fit.
seen somebody working out there with like deflated glutes or like on their way the journey we said to get there.
Never.
It's always the already have a ridiculous lower body.
The
It's
only
like,
explanation for that is you only accept people like that.
or
That's
you
the
only
thing.
film and put up people like that, which are both bad.
I'd say it's the marketing, and I feel
Imagine
like
how
too,
you would feel. Sorry.
No,
go ahead. I
No,
was
no,
saying,
I'll
imagine
go.
if you would feel being like not one of those girls, but working out there and like, oh, he's never gonna post me because I don't look like that.
Would you
feel
even
like, feel
go?
like shit, honestly.
Terrible.
Would you even go? I wouldn't
No,
go.
you wouldn't go. That's the thing. You
I wouldn't go.
But they got the clientele that they post. So maybe the other people that we're talking about don't even go there, like we said, because
But you
They're
would
too
want to.
intimidated.
it's intimidating.
You would also want to because this person is an like not an influencer, is at the top of their game in building. So like, let's say I have a deficiency in my glutes and I want to go to somebody that helps with my glutes, but everybody is already like stacked. I
do
can't
I
go to
get
you for
there?
help. Like it's so ass backwards. No pun intended.
I have a deficiency in my glutes, is what he said.
a
I have a small ass. What do you want me to put it? I have no ass.
was a
Let's
good
stand up
one.
and show some example.
These shorts aren't good for
You
that.
too. Both of you. Up.
Whoa! What would you tell women that are struggling with like all these mixed messages?
I would say that it's normal to struggle. I feel like it's normal to hear both sides in the back of your head. Like, I want to be skinny, I want to be strong, like, I like where I'm at, but I want to be somewhere else. I feel like, again, with everything, there's two sides to it. But I would just say, talk to somebody.
That's what I was gonna say. Talk to someone
Talk
like
to someone.
you.
Yeah.
I would say find someone that's where you want to, that they're where you want to be, and find someone that's genuine, find someone that's honest with themselves and with their journey, and see how they got there and see if they can help you,
And that's something I love about all our trainers, but all our female trainers, is you guys are so supportive of everyone, and somebody could
Yeah.
come to you with a problem and you genuinely care and want to help. And I think that's something that is so important, is talk to somebody that genuinely cares about your well-being and is not just going to criticize you or like hype you up unnecessarily. Because I think that's just as toxic, somebody to hype you up when you kind of want or need help.
Yeah, you
need
kinda,
the help, yeah.
There's an art to helping people be accountable, and that's what you do as a coach, but also being empathetic and understanding where they're coming from. And like you said, like our female trainers are excellent at that. So I would say, I agreed, like go find someone, and you might take a few tries.
Yeah.
If you start
sure.
to see like red flags or like toxic traits or somebody that expects way too much from you or somebody that worse demeans you, if you're like, oh, you ate what? Like that's
the
a red
worst.
flag. So
Yeah.
there are people out there are professionals, fitness professionals, coaches, trainers, and places where you can go to.
For sure. I think, like, personally, me starting here, I did come in to lose weight. This is like a personal thing, but I did come in to lose weight because I gained a little bit and I noticed, but it wasn't because I was trying to fit in with everyone else. It's because I physically didn't feel good. Like, I felt very sluggish. And so I came in here and I started working out. I'm going to give B a shout out, Cricket, our other female trainer. Yeah, little B.
Little B.
Little
It's
B.
like 3 times your height.
I know, she's literally so much taller than me.
Same size
But,
feet though.
Yeah,
yes,
same size feet.
true. But I saw B and I was inspired by her journey. And just talking to her every day, we'd go running together and just seeing like how motivated she was. It got me in the mindset of this isn't about being skinny or losing weight. This is about being strong and being able to just function on the daily without any pains or aches and all that stuff. That's my back pain's a whole nother
No,
story, but
That's
That's
great.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
great because
Yeah.
she is very inspiring because not just her
Yes.
journey, but because she always wanted to be strong. She never came to
She was
me.
never
She was trained with
skinny.
me at first, and it's not like I want to be skinny. It was always I want to be strong. Like, look at this girl's biceps. Look at this girl's hamstrings. Like, look how impressive and how much weight she can push. And I want to be able to do all these things. Not I want to fit into a size 2. Like, we got to change our our perception of what working out is, what the purpose of working out is.
But what I love about what you said is that's, I think, where women could encourage each other in an actual positive way, because you were inspired by her. I'm sure she was inspired by somebody else. And now it's your role, I think, as a coach, the same way it's our role to be that person, be that voice of reason, be that person that can navigate all these, mixed messages and actually help people, actually inspire people, change their mindset. So I think that's a perfect way to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think in conclusion, we can agree that all of this body positivity and all this stuff is just a way of saying we have to change our mentality on how we view fitness and how we view our bodies and exercise. And it's okay to be comfortable in your own body. It's perfectly fine to be comfortable being a little overweight, a little underweight, as long as you're at the bottom of your heart actually comfortable, and more importantly, you're healthy.
And striving
And you're striving to always improve, because
Exactly.
we can be happy and comfortable financially, in a relationship, with all these things.
Until you're not.
No. And still want to improve and still want to be better at all of them.
Yeah, true.
So you should always be looking for self-improvement. It's part of being an adult. It's part of growing up.
I think that goes back to what we said. We said it earlier, but just being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So being okay telling yourself, like, I'm not comfortable with where I am. How do I get to where I
And
want
that's
to be?
hard. That's really, really hard. So just talking about it, I think, is important.
Yeah, just yap. Just
yap to your
about
friends.
it. I yap to them all the
I don't know
time.
about
They
your
have
friends,
to.
but
I yap to
if
them.
your friends
You guys
are
have to hear it.
we have good friends, yeah.
And I just want to say, like, you guys are very different trainers, like, from what we were talking. You can probably put this in the other thing, but you guys are different trainers in the sense that you are very encouraging and you're motivating to your female clients, not just your male clients. And I think that you see a difference when you walk in this gym,
Awesome.
We're glad.
like, yeah.
Love it.
So
Most
you
of our
guys,
women
you guys are girlies.
Girlies, Heroin Chic.
Yeah, I'm not canceled.
Not yet.
Not yet. You'll get there.
Wait till the episode comes
You'll
out.
get there.
All right, so this was obviously a very different episode. We want to thank Emma for joining the discussion. It was more of a discussion, which is what we wanted, and less of like,
An interview per se.
Yeah, or just like how we usually do, where we script and we have different segments and things like that. So if you enjoyed this style, let us know. We definitely want to be doing more interviews, more discussion panels, and bringing other people in.
Preferably with smaller feet.
Thank you guys for having me and for
You did
listening
great.
to my yaps.
You're a great yapper.
Thank
Guys,
you. I try. Follow Get 'em Fit and be fit. Come work out with us. We'd love to
And
see
Emma's
you.
giant feet.
And my
At
giant.
Emma's giant feet.
Here we go.
At Emma's giant feet. Guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Be Fit Brothers
With Emma.
podcast.